Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chaos, and I'm bringing you another semifinal of the Invitational. It's happening at MLG Providence. We have Naniwa versus I am MVP. First map here is Daybreak in this best of 3 set. Spawning in the right spawn is MVP, and spawning in the left spawn is Naniwa. Now, we just coming off a huge set with Idra and ST. Definitely check that out if you're interested in some epic games. I won't spoil the result of the match. And what a great way to follow this up with Naniwa versus MVP. Now, we're just going to talk about MVP for a minute here to see what's going on here. Anyways, MVP, a couple of accomplishments the last little bit. He had a second place finish in October, Code S, getting a little bit beaten in the finals there by MMA 4-1, but then he turned around and actually won BlizzCon. He won the Global Invitational in South Korea against MMA in their kind of rematch from Code S on October 4-2. He won the World Cyber Games in Korea against Marine King. And he won the Team Ace Invitational against Gonzi. So, in a month period, he's taken 5 really big accomplishments. Now, I wouldn't call this matchup a mismatch, but there's a definite favorite here, and it's obviously MVP. Naniwa has been in Korea, and we do have Naniwa going for a pretty fast expansion here. It's kind of interesting to do here, because usually in this matchup, especially on this map there, it's a little bit tough to take a quick expansion. But it looks like the response is going to be a quick command center. So both players are really going to go for some kind of 2-base play. And the Marine will come down, so it will knock off this probe and push it right out. And we're going to kind of really gear up for at least a mid-game out of this. There won't be any quick endings here. Naniwa will have a better economy to start here. How he spends his Chrono Boost will actually be pretty important here. Is he going to spend his Chrono Boost on a lot of probes? Is he going to use it to try to generate his Warp Gate very quick? Or is he going to elect to really just go for a tech build? There's so many options really for Naniwa to transition out of this. Now MVP is throwing down 2 more barracks. Now it could be, it's pretty common to see Terran go for like a 3 barracks pressure here. Oh, 4 barracks. Now we will see MVP probably generate a decent amount of Marines and really just do a push here. And if Naniwa gets too greedy with probes, then he can be punished. And it looks like Naniwa is choosing to spend his Chrono Boost exclusively on probes so far. Now, Naniwa is going to want to get the scout in, but I don't think he'll be able to with those Marines. Now, Naniwa will be in a better position if he's not punished for his early Nexus. He's thrown down the Robo at this point, so he's only really sitting on 1 gate and 1 Robo, so he can't really get too many units up quick. Where obviously MVP with all those barracks can stream a huge amount of Marines. And really, the first sentry is on the way, and with only 1 sentry, it's going to be very tough to stop. And he gets a partial scout there for MVP. And the Robo has been scouted. Now we do have 2 more gateways behind here. So MVP can just really send every Marine right now. He could probably kill Naniwa for right now, or at least take out that natural there. MVP is actually being a little bit passive, surprisingly. Usually when you have this early build with a ton of attacking units, you have to do some pressure. Because the Chrono Boost has still been used pretty readily on the probes right now. Now, the question is, when will Naniwa choose to take an extra Nexus and go for the 3rd? Because he obviously... Oh, here we go. We have the push out for MVP. it looks like roughly about 15 Marines. The observer will catch it, so a ton of units are going to have to come out here. Now, there's no stim here, so the engagement's got to be really good, because the stalkers can really kite out a ton of extra Marines. And now the rocks are going down, and this is going to make force fields really tough. But we do have the Colossus den almost done for Naniwa. The second he gets Colossus in this mix, it's going to make these Marines really ineffective. And Naniwa being pretty careful here, being able to not lose any of his stalkers, but he didn't lose the observer though. Now stim has only been started now, so Naniwa's going to have a window here where he can do a lot of damage. And really, when you have Marines with no stim and no medevac support, they are in a kind of rough spot. And obviously all the Marines are pulling back. And it looks like MVP is going to be the first to take a third. That command center just finishing. So we will be able to transition into a better economy here into the late game. Now look at this, we're into 5 gateways and 1 robo plus Colossus in the mix. And range is about halfway done at this point. And we actually have double forges going down. So we're going to see Naniwa go into a pretty aggressive mid-game, getting double ups at a pretty fast rate. I wouldn't be surprised to see a timing attack here once the range finishes, and probably a second Colossus get added here. And so we are seeing the +1 weapons and +1 armor getting research for Naniwa. And third has went down for Naniwa. It looks like we might see a little bit of a push only with just the 1 Colossus, which is a little bit risky because if you get caught out of position by those Marauders, they will pick that Colossus off pretty easily. And he's going to rely really heavily on just great force fields. Stim pack is about to finish, and a second Colossus is about to finish. And MVP being pretty smart and pulling out of there. He might lose another observer. And that's not a great thing to do. Having that observer is kind of critical for keeping tabs on that Terran army here. Now, the second Colossus has finished, a third being started right away. This is really just a pretty typical kind of play here. MVP is going to be in a good position here if he can hold out though. Viking production has started to. They'll start being able to pick off those Colossus once it gets around 4 to 6. They'll go down quite quickly. If that opportunity doesn't come though, Naniwa does have a timing window here where with 2 or 3 Colossus in the mix, he should be able to rip through this ground army without too much trouble here. Now the third getting pretty saturated there. Now he is up about 10 probes right over MVP. Surprised Naniwa is just staying at home with his army. Now the Viking count almost up to 4 at this point, and we are seeing +2 weapons and +2 armor getting research for Naniwa, plus blink. So we might see a lot more focus on some gateway units at this point. Because usually you don't want to get too many Colossus up front, or else your main army starts to suffer. And we are seeing a change to Immortals. The reason you kind of do this is so if your opponent overcommits on Vikings, obviously yeah, they're going to kill your 3 Colossus, but you still have a pretty strong Immortal backbone. And then really the Terran has to hope that he has Ghost in his mix. And it's kind of the chess match that happens when you have Terran versus Protoss. So we're going to see MVP go up to 6 Vikings. Now I'm curious if he's going to make 2 or 4 more and see what he lets us count. And we do have Templar Archives obviously on the way as well, so High Templar will be in the mix. And it's kind of preemptive, because when Ghosts are there, obviously you need the High Templar in the mix. And obviously there's the Storm factor too that you got to worry about. The food counts are very close. Looks like MVP a little bit ahead in food. Huge warp gate count here. I think we're up to about 8 gates on the way here. And the +2 upgrades for Naniwa about to finish. And I'm curious to see if he moves right into level 3 upgrades, or maybe if he just chooses attack. And we are seeing the Ghost Academy about to wrap up for MVP, so Ghosts are going to start to head into the mix. And this is really heading into a really kind of long game at this point. And the key factor on this map is where do you take your 4th base. You can obviously take the far off bases in the southern or northern position for the players, but those are more open to drop play, and they aren't quite as safe. But obviously you take closer bases, the attack paths are closer, and it's a little bit easier for the whole army just to come in and shut your expansion. Now 12 Vikings are out, and this is what I'm saying. Look how fast that Colossus go down, and really MVP picking off it really quick on Colossus, and he might lose another one here. Wow, very close to losing that second Colossus. And MVP just microing those Vikings brilliant. He only lost, I think, 2 Vikings in that mix there, which is not a bad trade. Colossus take a long time to build, and really Naniwa isn't pumping them out steady, so being down to just 2 or 1 Colossus. Now, something else to note, we are seeing 3-3 upgrades on the way for Naniwa, so he's going to have a big upgrade advantage. Usually you want to attack up front, though, to take advantage of the upgrades, or eventually your Terran opponent will get up there anyways, so you kind of lose a bit of the impact. And it looks like a big drop is about to happen for MVP. So we are going to see it engage in the middle here, and the Vikings are picking off all of the Colossus drop, and we are having a drop in the main of Naniwa, so huge damage going down here. And it's hard to say who actually got ahead on this exchange. And it looks like Naniwa is pushing in. Wow, look at all those force fields going down, and Naniwa cleaning up huge. Looks like he's up about 20 food at this point. Big EMPs really caused the pushback here, otherwise Naniwa would just push straight through. And Naniwa is actually ahead a touch here. 5 more gateways almost wrapping up. So Naniwa is going to have a window here where he can take advantage. Once those 3-3 upgrades finish, that's going to be probably the window that we're going to be waiting for. Now, we're going to have to really see what happens here. It's going to come down to really a careful micro, because the EMPs, if they hit the Archons essentially evaporate. They have almost no hull damage on them. I think only like 10 HP. And they're all shields. And here we go. 3-3 is wrapping up right now. It looks like an extra Colossus is on the way there. There is a planetary fortress in production there, or I should say finished up. So you got to make sure you engage right the right angle. You don't want to have that DPS from that planetary being a factor in this battle. So Naniwa being a little bit hesitant. He doesn't know where he wants to attack here. Storm has been started, and shield upgrades are on the way as well. Another 2 gateways in production. I don't know if he's going to wait for Storm or if he's going to make the push here. But they are on 5 bases versus 4 bases, so it is pretty even here. Here's the engagement. 1 EMP goes down, and some damage definitely happening. And using that planetary as cover, I think MVP got the better of that engagement there. Now, huge warpins are coming in because the gateway count is so huge for Naniwa, and most of the EMPs are out at this point. And these are very close engagements going on there. And most of the Zealots are being kited pretty effectively. He's falling back really good. And this engagement is getting pretty close. All the medevacs have went down, but there are no Colossus left in the mix. And without any Ghost to EMP, he's reinforcing again, though, another batch of Zealots coming in. 3-3 upgrades against 1-1 in this battle here, so big advantage there for Naniwa in these straight-up battles. no Vikings are remaining. And wow, 3 Colossus are being pumped out at a time. We're at 3 Robo. That's an insane amount of production there. And this is going to be a huge advantage for Naniwa, because there's no way that MVP can be anticipating so many Colossus production. He is getting a lot of ghosts, so he's really anticipating more of a High Templar. Now the question is, how many Colossus are going to be created here? And it looks like we might wait for 6 Colossus before he decides to make his move here. He has finished Storm at this point as well, so you might find if Vikings get too crazy again that a quick switch to Storm will happen. It's going to be right down to the wire here though. Food counts have evened out again. But composition-wise, I got to look at Naniwa a little bit ahead, which is surprising to see considering how good MVP usually is in this matchup. So the 3 Colossus are about to pop, and that 5th base has been thrown down for Naniwa, so they're going to be on equal footing here. And MVP is just trying to get his upgrades up there. He's still trailing behind. He is getting his +2/+2. Now, I think Naniwa is going to go for his kill move here. I think Naniwa has to take advantage of the situation, though. The longer he sits, he's just letting MVP get closer and closer. So Naniwa looks like he's just trying to find the position he wants to attack in. And the Viking count is only at 4, so Naniwa could be in a solid position here. And it looks like the 5th base is being denied, and MVP is looking to push, and here's the big engagement here. The Viking count looks like it's a little bit low. It looks like the Colossus are starting to do huge hits there, and it looks like Naniwa made close, small work of that huge army of MVP. And MVP being caught with far too few Vikings on the map. So Naniwa needs to take advantage of his army advantage right now. And he looks like he's going for the push here. A ton more. Look at all those zealots coming into the map. And this planetary is going to be attacked here. And here we go. Here's the big attack. And it looks like it's mostly Marauders being produced here. There's no Vikings in production. And it looks like Naniwa is in fantastic shape here. Look at that, only 3 Vikings left there for MVP, so I'm not sure how he's hoping to deal with all these Colossus. He's going to have to really try to catch him out of position, but it just seems so unlikely in this kind of position. And MVP is streaming down the last bit of his army there. And really, Naniwa is in such a fantastic position. And here comes the engagement. And MVP just getting caught out of position. MVP's trying to get out of there, but it looks he's going to be caught right out of position. Look at all those Colossus. We have about 7. And GG, Naniwa takes game 1 of this series.